Well everyone, this video will most certainly be controversial. This is an argument that has been going on since the 1960s and is still very argumentative to this day. And it's all over which rifle bullet is better, the American 5.56x45mm NATO or 223 round, or the Soviet 7.62x39mm round. Just a little disclaimer, this video is not going to put the debate to rest because it will rage on for many years to come. But I will try to give you as much information as possible so that you can come up with your own opinion at the end of this video. Welcome to the 50BOF YouTube channel, and this is the 5.56 versus the 7.62x39. The first thing I will talk about with these two legendary calibers is a brief history on both of them and how they rose to the top as a result of World War II, starting with the 7.62x39mm. After the appearance of the German Sturmgewehr 44 on the front lines in later years of World War II, the Soviet weapons industries realized that they needed to produce an intermediate-sized cartridge and therefore a new weapon to equip frontline troops in order to keep up with the technologically advancing world. Prior to its creation, most soldiers would have to carry either a bolt-action rifle, like the German Mauser K98 and Soviet Mosin Nagant, or a submachine gun, such as the MP40 and PPSH-41 into battle. Although semi-automatic rifles such as the Gewehr 43 and Soviet SVT-40 were available, most soldiers weren't equipped with one. But even then, it was either a long-range, hard-hitting round or a much less powerful pistol ammunition designed to be fired at close range. This is the case on both sides of the Eastern Front. At the time, there didn't exist a caliber that was capable of doing both jobs. This led to the adoption of the German Sturmgewehr chambered in the 7.92x33mm Kurz round. After the war ended, the Soviets wanted to develop their own intermediate caliber cartridge to replace the aging 7.62x54R round, which is what all the Mosin Nagants were chambered in, and thus the 7.62x39 round was adopted by the Red Army in 1944, as well as a new, less accurate but reliable main battle rifle called the SKS carbine. The smaller rifle and smaller caliber allowed soldiers to carry more ammunition while also carrying a lighter weapon into battle. However, by 1947, Mikhail Kalashnikov had completed his design for an even better rifle called the AK-47, also chambered in the new round, and it was this rifle that made it famous. That's all I have for the history of the 7.62x39, so now we will go to the American 5.56x45 round. With the 5.56 bullet's parent case being the 223 Remington, we will start with that instead because they are not the same but very similar. Development of this new round, as well as a new lightweight battle rifle, began in 1957 when the U.S. Continental Army Command laid out the specifications for the new rifle and the round it will fire. Companies such as Fairchild Industries, Remington, and a variety of other engineers came forward to achieve the specifications for the 5.56 round, and Eugene Stoner was asked to scale down his 7.62x51mm AR-10 rifle to meet the new 5.56 round. This variant was then designated as the AR-15. Both the new rifle and bullet had to be in excess of supersonic speed at 500 yards with a rifle weight of 6 pounds, be able to hold 20 rounds of ammunition at a time, have a selective fire system for both semi-automatic and fully automatic firing modes, be able to penetrate a U.S. steel helmet on one side at 500 yards while also being able to penetrate 0.135 inches of steel also at 500 yards. And finally, it must have accuracy and ballistics comparable to the 30-06 Springfield round. And the 5.56 round fired inside of the AR-15 was able to accomplish all of these tasks. Despite the Cold War escalations not exactly boiling over, there have been many proxy wars where these two legendary cartridges were put up against each other. Many are still ongoing to this day with the global fight against terrorism, but Vietnam was definitely one of the more famous of these proxy wars. Now that I have given you a brief history on the two giants, I will now go outside to do an accuracy test at 75 yards and a stopping power test into a rock at 50 yards. Alright everyone, so we're out here now at the range. I've got a target out there set up at about 75 yards. I went and measured it. This will be our accuracy test, and just for these first 5 rounds, I'm just gonna shoot out there and see where it's hitting. I'll still record it though, because it looks kind of cool.
For ammo today, for both calibers, we'll be using this Wolf ammo right here, Russian stuff. It's not the greatest for accuracy, but that's the only brand I have for both of these calibers, so that's what we'll be using today. We'll start with a 5.56 or 223 first, out of this Mini 14. Make sure the bull is back. My ears on. All right, here we go. Target fell over. Okay, so what happened was when that round hit, I put a rock inside of the box so that it wouldn't fall over if the wind blew at all. So now I just put some dirt inside it instead, so this shouldn't move the box at all. All right, so let's get back to our test. Put my ears on. Here we go. All right. All right, let's go take a look at it. Okay, so you can see these little holes right here, that's where the rock fragments went through, but it looks like there's one hit here, one there, one there, one there, one there. So a total of 5 rounds. Looks like it's going, majority of them are going low right, so I'll compensate for that, and then we can do our real test. I'll cover these up. All right, this is the real deal now. All right, let's go check it out. Okay, so as you can see, I tried to compensate for this a little bit, but I ended up shooting above those. But I'd say for at 75 yards, that's a pretty decent group there. I'm gonna measure these, and we'll go to the 7.62 bullet. All right, now we're gonna go to the 7.62 bullet out of this SKS. Now, the Mini 14 did have a scope on it, but at 75 yards, I don't think it'll make that much of a difference. So, I'll just use iron sights this time. But, anyways, it's just a test now, so you know. I adjusted the iron sights to 100 meters. That should be pretty close to this distance. But here we go. 7.62 by 39. Alright, let's go check it out. Okay, so for the 7.62 bullet, looks like we scored a hit right here, 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 and then down here on the sawhorse. So it looks like we're shooting a little bit low right with this, so I'm gonna try and aim more up here than on those iron sights. Alright, round 2. Real test this time. Here we go. For all the marbles. Last one. Alright, let's go check it out. Okay, so I am only counting 4 hits on this target right here. There's one there, there. Got a bullseye right there, but I actually don't know where the 5th one went. So anyways, I'm gonna measure these. Okay, so for the next test, what we're gonna do is find out which round has more stopping power. So the way we're gonna do is, I have a rock set up over there. We're gonna shoot 1 round at it out of each caliber, and whichever round can breaks up more has the most stopping power. We're gonna start again. We're gonna start with a 5.56. All right, here we go at the rock. Let's go check it out. Okay, so what we got here looks like it knocked a big chunk out right there. I believe, I don't know where it's facing, but it knocked this chunk out right here. So now let's try the 7.62 bullet, see if that can do any better. We'll shoot at this side this time. All right, now for the 7.62 bullet. At the rock. Here we go. All right, let's go take a look. Okay, so it looks like half of it's right here. Looks like the bullet hit somewhere right here or something like that. But it completely broke the rock apart. Here's the other half down here. The rock is like completely broken apart. See, it broke that part off, broke that part off. So I think we can conclude that the 7.62x39mm bullet has the most stopping power. Here's where it hit, and it just completely knocked off those 2 chunks there. Okay, so now it's time for my conclusion. Despite these 2 amazing rifle calibers being very similar as far as popularity and effectiveness go, I was able to find out which one I like better. I know that I said at the beginning of the video that I was just going to give you the information you need to form your own opinion, but I felt like I just had to give you my own opinion. So now it's time for the analysis. From what I gathered from the series of tests that I conducted, both rounds actually matched even, with the 5.56 bullet having a maximum separation of 2 3/4 inches, and with the 7.62 bullet having a maximum separation of 3 1/4 inches. The 5.56 bullet comes out on top for the accuracy test. Now the thing with the 7.62 bullet is I actually pulled off one of those shots somehow. I will not be counting that one, because if I was able to shoot that tight of a group, then that one round that missed was totally my fault and had nothing to do with the round itself. But that doesn't matter too much anyways, because the 5.56 round came out on top for the accuracy test. Now for the stopping power test. From what we saw with that footage was pretty clear. The 7.62 round was able to break up the rock more than the 5.56 bullet did, so it will take the win this time around. So now we basically have a tie here with the 5.56 and 7.62 bullets, with each them having a point. So how do we know which one is better? Now obviously there's a lot more things to grade on besides just accuracy and stopping power. So what I did is I have assembled a list of some other grading factors I'm going to use, and which round is better for those factors. Availability. Neither round got that one because both calibers are pretty much equally easy to find, assuming, of course, there isn't a pandemic going on. Okay, for the next factor is cost. 7.62x39 comes out on top for this one. Although you can find cheapy steel-cased Wolf and Tula ammo in 223 and 5.56 as you saw earlier with the shooting, the steel-cased 7.62x39 is far more common. For the next factor is reliability. 7.62 again takes this one. Even though it doesn't have much to do with the actual round, most of the rifles that are chambered for 7.62 are usually going to be more reliable, with very iconic examples like the SKS and AK-47, as I mentioned in the history segment. Both those rifles are proven to be reliable, so that the 7.62 will win that round as well. The next grading factor on my list is weight. This may seem like a particularly small factor, but if you're able to shave off even a pound or two, it really makes a huge difference. With being only a 55 grain bullet, the 5.56 round wins over the 7.62's 124 grain bullet. But the slower and heavier bullet also explains why it has more stopping power. The next grading factor I will use for the two calibers is velocity and penetration. Since the 5.56 round is only a 55 grain bullet, it is moving a lot faster than the 7.62 and therefore has a lot more penetration in it. The final grading factor I have for the two different bullets is recoil, and again the 5.56 wins. Since most of the 5.56 chambered rifles have a lot more fancy gadgets to compensate for the recoil, as well as shooting a lighter round, 5.56 gets that one. With all these factors tallied up, the 5.56 round wins in accuracy, weight, and penetration, and also as well as recoil. The 7.62 round wins in stopping power, cost, reliability, and both bullets are good as far as availability. Now, just because the 7.62 scored more points than the 5.56 scored more points than 7.62 doesn't mean I like that one better. And yes, I do like the 7.62x39 round better if you haven't figured that out yet. And like I said at the beginning of the video, all this really boils down to your opinion. If you really like one factor over another, you may prefer that particular round. But anyways, I hope that was enough information for you all to make an opinion. And as always, make sure you like this video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and also comment below which one of these two amazing calibers do you think is superior. So thank you for watching and have a good one.